All right, give me 1 second because I'm going to make you listen to this. That sounded evil. All right, here you go.
Like it's scrubbing in Reaper.
Hey, it's like you know that sound, and I am zoomed in way too far.
Way far in.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to take 53 seconds, and you're going to listen to this. So, here's the sound that comes out of my computer when I press the power button. It comes out of the left-hand side. Here you go. Listen.
Whoa.
Not quite sure what that noise is. But I don't think it's going to turn on.
Oh, that really don't sound.
Yeah, I'm going to stop it there. That is what I woke up to this morning.
Nice.
The Lenovo laptop that I've used for 5 years off and on, I think has finally bit the dust. There was some talk about potentially it being a fan, but then I realized that it's coming out of the speakers itself. So that naturally makes me think potentially it's electronic. So fun times.
Yeah, that is that is one there, man. So what are you using
today?
to work
I am
on
using
to
the
record
Mac,
on?
Mallory's MacBook Air.
Ah.
I just deleted the pass through, not the pass through device, but the monitor device, and then you went quiet for a second, so I'm all like frantically getting ready to look at my sources. Oh, because it was too much of feedback for my headphones. But yeah, I am using Mallory's MacBook Air, so thank you, Mallory, for letting me use this for now. We're back to sharing a laptop for right now. She was thinking about looking at a Chromebook. I don't think, because for what she's going to be doing, because she's like, I don't want you to have to like reset everything up all the time. I'm like, well, I got everything all running in about 2 hours the way that I like it. I do not have Launch Bar on here, but I'm trying to run it as, just with native apps. I will say, I had to get Audio Hijack. I don't even have Audio Hijack on here. I have, Loopback, and that's the only Rogue Amoeba software, which I really like their new audio engine. Just saying, because that was a smooth setup process.
Oh, the new setup process. Yeah, I hadn't had to go through that yet.
Yeah.
I am upgraded to the version that has that now, but yeah, I haven't had to go through it from scratch. But it did sound like it was going to be way better.
It is. You just got to hit the button, give it permissions, and you're good to go. Side note, she had upgraded to Sequoia, and I didn't even know it. And I feel like with all that I've had to go through with setting this Mac up, system notification, focus has moved to system notifications. Nope, that's not the right word. System dialogues. Focus has moved to system dialogues a lot more consistent than I've ever seen it with VoiceOver on the Mac. So I don't know if that's a side effect of me not being on the Mac for, I don't know, almost a little. No. Okay.
No, if there's anything, it's either settings are different or it's Sequoia, which I'm going to upgrade to probably sometime in the coming week.
Okay. But yeah, so I'm using a shared MacBook for right now. That will probably change hopefully a little sooner than I was originally anticipating, because I had some time to kill. The only thing I haven't set up on here, and I'll probably set it up tomorrow when I'm editing the show, is Parallels, because otherwise Zendesk is going to be a beast to use with Safari. I imagine. I haven't actually I might actually go try it to see if table support with VoiceOver in those weird tables has been fixed in Sequoia. It's like one of those things that, you get excited for, but you realize that it's probably not going to be fixed. But I might go try it just to see. But yeah, so right now I am using the MacBook Air, and I'm glad to be back on the Mac. To be honest with you, I am. I have some frustrations with the Mac, just like I have frustrations with the Windows. But right now, I'm I'm happy to be on the Mac because it's not difficult for me to use and I can just jump in and use it. I am a little sad about the circumstances for why I'm on the Mac because, being forced to do something you're not necessarily ready to do is a little extreme. Thankfully, and children and adults and everyone listening, back your stuff up. Like, you never know. Like, I was working on Digital Bytes last night, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to put this away, and I'm going to go and finish it up in the morning. Digital Bytes didn't get published till 4 p.m. today because I thought I was going to be able to just come in at 6:30, finish the editing project, and then get it published, and that did not happen. But luckily, all of my files were still in Dropbox. So that's my PSA, is back your stuff up.
So here's my PSA to go on with. Test your backups.
Yeah.
Because I've had to try to restore for some backups here recently. And some of them have went great. And even in some instances, people didn't even know there was a problem to have to restore from. But there are some that are still screwed up. And part of that is because I hadn't tested the restore process, which is something you should do. And the other part is I honestly feel like some of my admin sysops skills have kind of atrophied a bit over the past 6 or 9 months.
By not doing it on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's like I'm having to research stuff now that is like, oh, wait, it didn't do what? Oh, I know how to fix that problem. Now it's like, wait, how do you fix this problem? What is going on? I don't understand what's happening here.
Yeah. Yeah. So, are you signed into Google and do you have our doc? Because I do not. And I knew I threw some stuff in there. I can pull it up though here in a second. Actually.
I can get in there. Hold on.
But while you're doing that, and or while I'm doing that too, your internet your internet saga continues.
Yeah, so I think we have possibly gotten to a winner. So we're on Spectrum. As of right now, Spectrum seems a lot more stable than I was dealing with Xfinity. But I'm not getting the speeds that I should be getting with Spectrum.
Oh.
Testing on the Mini, the speeds are way low. Like for me to have gigabit, they're way too low. And I'm going to check the cable to make sure that the Ethernet cable isn't a Cat5 that maxes out at a specific speed or something like that, because that could be the issue. But otherwise, they've been pretty solid.
What are you averaging?
So on the Mini, I'm averaging around 300-ish downloads. Yeah. And over Wi-Fi, like 132 down and about 36 up.
Yeah. At that rate, you might as well just pay for their 300 and save $20 a month or something.
Right.
Because that's a bit extreme.
So got to check into that right there. But otherwise, I would say stability-wise, it's been great. Didn't notice any glitches the other day when I know for certain Comcast did have an outage. Mm-hmm. So, and we'll see how this goes with us in Riverside. But last week I was on Xfinity and we could have had a catastrophe with the show because it stopped recording me for some reason. And I think it was due to internet disconnections.
Riverside handles that very interestingly enough. And I don't understand this, and it kind of annoys me about it. So I got the message last week saying Damashe's internet's unstable or something like that, and that it stopped recording you, right? Mm-hmm. All that does is stops recording you locally, which makes zero sense to me. Why would you stop recording Damashe locally, especially if it's an internet issue? Because your audio came through just fine in the cloud backup, which is the combined version of your audio and my audio. Like there was no dropouts in your audio, nothing happened. So we'll watch it today and see if that message pops up again. But I thought that was really interesting because doesn't make sense to me why it was able to capture you with my audio, but it couldn't just send your audio unless something interrupted that upload. And Riverside's like, nope, it's not going to, we're not going to be able to capture this audio or something. But it was really strange. And it is so weird to use the Mac again.
See, my expectation with Riverside would be that it would continue recording me locally and just stop uploading it, and then maybe try again when it was done.
Right.
Or say, hey, you can temporarily download this file and share it or something, right? Like that. That would be, because again, I would, like you, I would think locally recording me is going to be a whole lot easier than recording me across the internet.
Yeah. So I used the cloud recording, I think. No, I used your audio, I think, because you put it in sync last week. So, yeah. But it's good to know that that's what happens, I guess. So, for listeners who don't know, if you're using a Vocaster and you're using the Mac, the secret to the Vocaster and the secret to really any of your audio routing issues is loopback on the Mac. So I added Vocaster as a device to my virtual device in loopback. And then I need to go map the channels, but I don't remember what channel is the host microphone on the Vocaster 2. On the Vocaster 1, it's channel 5, but I don't think it's the same. So I went and I asked ChatGPT because I'm like, that'll be a lot faster than finding that Vocaster matrix PDF file that I know, channel matrix PDF file that I know where it is. I'm like, what channel is the host microphone on the Vocaster? Freaking ChatGPT comes back and goes, typically, the host channel on the Vocaster 2 is going to be channel number 1. It's the first XLR port on the Vocaster. I'm like, I don't think that's right. And then it came back and told me that the host channel is channel 5. And I'm like, okay, thank you for confirming that. But this is why AI isn't taking over. I mean, it's helping people's jobs, but it's not taking over jobs right now.
So would you tell it was wrong before it gave you the right answer?
Yeah. I'm like, I think this is
sorry,
wrong.
you're right.
Actually, I said, I think this is wrong. Can you search the web to find the answer? It did not tell me I was right. I think it just said that the host microphone is channel 5.
Yep, host is channel 5. There's a good, I should have saved it as a PDF. Then I wouldn't have to hunt up the website every time I need to look. But I go look at their website because they have it mapped out in a nice little table for each model, which helps.
You do have to host Riverside in Chrome or Edge. They won't let you host in Safari, which I guess is to be expected.
Yep.
I don't know if this is...
passkeys with one password is starting to work a whole lot smoother.
That's good. I signed into Google in Google Chrome with my passkey stored in iCloud today. That went pretty smooth. I can message from the Mac again. That's an awesome feeling. So those who listen to
the little things
know that I tried out Phone Link or Your Link or Your Phone or whatever it's called.
Whatever they're calling it now, because they probably have changed the name seriously since we first put that in the show notes.
Right. So it worked okay, except when I was walking around the house, doing dishes or switching laundry around, just listening to podcast content on the Meta Ray-Bans because it's great headphones. And then I'd get a phone call and I'd answer the call and I'd be talking just fine. And all of a sudden it would go dead. Like, where the hell did my audio go? Well, your phone or Phone Link was taking the Bluetooth from my phone and grabbing that call and sending it to my Windows computer. And when I realized what it was doing, I'm like, nope, this has got to go, because it cut me off like 2 times on phone calls. And I'm like, I don't know where my audio is. I'm running around the house trying to figure out which speaker has audio and stuff like that. Then I hear people talking out of my headphones that are hanging from my microphone. I'm like, there should be no audio. Oh, your phone is the culprit. So, or Phone Link is the culprit. It was nice to be able to message from Windows and to send myself links back and forth. That was super convenient. Although the solution for that for me was WhatsApp. I would WhatsApp a link and then get it on Windows or vice versa, and then copy and paste into like different apps on iPhone. But yeah, so that did not last. I think I had it on the computer for like 3 days, and then by day number 3, I'm like, nope, can't do this anymore. So
Okay. They've done that thing to Google Docs again.
So we may or may not get that this week. We may or may get it next week. When it comes to,
I do have some ideas for producing some more bonus content for our Tip Jar supporters.
okay.
And I got this idea from listening to Barbecue and Tech. I was catching up. Well, I'm way behind, but anyway, I was listening to an episode of Barbecue and Tech. And from my perspective, so it was, that's Chris and Rod who do that show. Chris is the real barbecue guy. Started a food truck. But anyway, there's one episode where he is doing this episode by himself, so there's no Rod, and it sounds like he's in his truck. Now, the audio isn't the best audio. Like, I would have liked for him to have used, something different from what he was using. But I was like, it's a good way to just do some random stuff not random, but some intentional things to drop into the feed. Especially for me when I'm out, but you're getting out, moving around, doing more stuff too. So I gotta sign it again. Come on.
All right, so I got the dock open. I was able to get it open. Item chooser is amazing. That is what I missed on Mac right there. That one feature.
Wait. This is weird. Why is it laying out the document like this? I mean, it makes it a little easier to navigate it, but this is very weird.
What? It reads everything on one line?
No. Like I'm navigating with VO right arrow through the dock. Maybe it's in preview mode or something.
Do you have screen reader support enabled?
Probably. Wait, the last thing I see is apps around the screen, though.
Yeah, what does that mean? Oh, that around my iPhone. Like placing apps wherever I want.
Join a call here, present this doc to a call. This is what you want to do with your Google Docs. All right, so next week what we're going to do is we're going to do the show and we're going to present our show notes in a Google Meet.
We'll
share that link and we'll stream it to YouTube. And then you can just read the notes.
Except you can't. We're going to talk about. Just
wait, it doesn't work with voiceover? Or
I suspect not. I bet it works like a slide, like a share screen. It might, though. I don't know.
It might be worth it. I mean, it's not worth doing the show. Like,
yeah,
we'll test it and make it a piece of bonus content and see how that tell you if it actually does work.
Mm-hmm.
Before you accidentally hit that button that says share your join a call or share this tab.
Do you remember when we recorded the show on Google Meet? We did that for a while. Not this show.
Yeah, we did record the other show on Google Meet for a good little while, actually.
Yeah, and then
I was thinking about going back to Google Meet because I haven't had to do as much Zoom stuff, and it's like paying for Zoom for another year when it comes up.
I'm going to cancel my Zoom in November.
I'm going to go back to Google Meet.
Yeah,
because it's already included with what I'm paying for. More people are used to it now, unlike when I first tried that experiment. People were like, "How do I get into this?"
Yeah,
it says I don't have access. I sent it to that email. That's a Google account.
Right.
Oh well, I'm signed into this account. I can't help you with that. But yeah, I think I'm going back to Google Meet, man. Just because it's already included.
Like, you can join from your phone. It's an accessible experience for the end user. You can join from your computer. I think lately I have had more Google Meet sessions than I have Zoom sessions.
Same. I can absolutely. That's what's making me feel like it's a easier move now because everybody's doing it. It's not, we were just doing it and people like, the hell is this weird Google Meet thing you're doing?
I was paying for Zoom because of the Unmute Presents Tuesday calls, but ACB Community has taken all of the community calls and put them on the 4 or 6 ACB accounts so they can manage the links, which at first I'm like, I don't know if I like that, but now I have systems in place to record my call locally. Most of the time, just saying, last week I forgot to arm the track with my microphone on it. So I had everyone else's conversations but me. But I got that taken care of. But now I don't necessarily have to pay for Zoom because there's nothing I'm using Zoom for that either I can't finish in 40 minutes or that can't get moved over to Google Meet. And you know what? If you can't move over to Google Meet, maybe we're not a good partnership to work together because it's literally just a different link.
That's it. I mean, you could even dial in with phone numbers. I know we can do that because we're Google Workspace. I don't know if that works on free Gmail accounts, but you at least have the ability to also give people options for dialing in with a phone number.
Can we call out on Google Meet? Do you know? Because I know on Teams, if you have a meeting set up, the host can call to add people to a team meeting, which I think is pretty cool.
That is a cool feature.
Like seniors who need to join or people who struggle with entering those long PIN numbers, if you could just call to add them to the meeting.
I don't think that's a feature, but I honestly hadn't used a Meet as a non-participant in a while. That would be a cool feature. And if they don't have it, we should suggest that they add it. I mean, they should just use Google Voice underlying infrastructure to make that outgoing call. Oh man, I shouldn't have said that because now they're going to want to charge you $10 for Google Voice. Then you can do it.
So this is why I canceled 3D. I think that was supposed to be ED instead of 3D. It's what happens when you get typing really fast. But why I canceled Aira to pay for ChatGPT. And then, so I'll explain that. And then I'll explain my frustrations with the whole thing. I canceled Aira because I was paying 23 and some change because I'm on the ACB plan. And I have some credit minutes that I haven't been touching because how Aira works is they use the monthly minutes that you pay for before they use your minutes that either expire at a certain period or don't expire, dependent on how those minutes are set up on your account.
Mm-hmm.
So I found myself not using all of the minutes I was paying for. So I said, you know what, let's just cancel this for now, see how many minutes I actually use. And then after I've done that, then I can, look at it over a month or two and then figure out if it's a service that I need to pay for. Well, I realized when I canceled it, I had $23 in my budget that I could use on a monthly basis, and I had not been paying for any AI service. So I said, you know what? I'd really love to try this advanced voice mode out on ChatGPT, and I could use some more 4.0 interaction. So I'm going to go pay for ChatGPT. And then 2 days later, OpenAI announces that advanced voice mode was coming to free users. So that was nice. But I am using ChatGPT a lot, and I think I might start using it more now that I'm on the Mac. Go re-download MacGPT and play with that. Have you used the OpenAI ChatGPT app yet on the Mac?
I have not.
Maybe I'll play with that and come back and report. Apparently, you can hit Option Space and just start chatting with ChatGPT by default. I imagine you can change that keystroke, but that could be useful. I don't know.
I should try it because it may, I don't know. I'll tell you what, I will reach out to, I'm going to try it. I'll give it a try.
Okay.
I've been meaning to, and I just hadn't really been using GPT on the computer at all.
Yeah. Have you been using it on the phone at all?
I have been. Not the voice mode as much. That's been a little irritating at times, and I hadn't tried it recently. But I have used it to, I think I mentioned to you, it may not have been on the show, that I used it in one instance to generate what do you call them? It's a business document. An operating agreement, help me draft an operating agreement, and help me draft a resolution. So, the operating agreement was outlining the way that the vending business would be run and all of that. And one of those things was I would have to make resolutions since I'm a single member in lieu of having a not real meeting with myself. Like, oh, we're going to sit down and have a meeting, but it's just me. That don't make any sense. So I make a decision. I write up a resolution and I made a template. So there's a resolution to open up a business bank account, for example. Then there was a resolution to purchase a van, which I'm, think maybe I should have had somebody higher up review that one. It's like, you really want to take on this debt right now? Are you serious? No, but so I have used it, but not as much. And one thing I have done is a few times I've done things on the phone. For some reason, I'm not able to get to links, like when they provide me a link to download this document or whatever. So I would go back on the computer and go to the browser and just grab the link that way by revisiting the conversation. Present this tab to the call. I really want to try this now. So let me ask you this question. With Aira, have you not thought of the buy yourself a gift card to add to your minutes as you get lower? Because I think you had more minutes than I did that were just like, everlasting minutes apparently. Until you use them up, of course. But instead of paying for the subscription, because you're not using all the time that you were paying for, just occasionally, throw yourself a gift card.
So I hadn't really given that much thought, like to do that, because that would make sense. I'm trying to convince others to buy me Aira gift cards, but no, it makes sense to buy a gift card, add it to your account. I don't know. You don't save money if you have a monthly subscription and you buy a gift card, do you?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, I haven't looked at any of that recently, but not to my knowledge, it never worked that way. And I agree. I mean, I would much rather other people purchase me Aira gift cards, but in a pinch, sometimes for me that has made more sense since I let go of my subscription a couple of years ago. It's made more sense to buy a gift card occasionally just to top it off, just to make sure I had some, time on there.
I might do that. I think with the next invoice I get a client to pay, I'll just go add some money to a gift card for Aira. And you know what? We're doing this. We use this tool called Elfster, I think is what it's called. It's a, what are those called? Gift giving thingy where it automatically draws names. So we add all the names of the family.
Secret Santa thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then we put a $1 limitation on it. And then like,
app?
Well, it's a website.
Web service.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
You send invites to all of the people and then they click the button. It's a really simple setup process. I think you can even sign in with Google. So you can just easily set it up. And then on a certain day, it'll do the drawing and say, you were assigned this person and this person, and then that's all is who you were assigned. And then you can ask the person questions in the app if you want, because they do have a mobile version of the web page. They might have an app, I don't remember. And then on the day of the gift exchange, you do your gift exchange and then it goes away for another year. It does get a little spammy sometimes during the beginning of the year, and they do kind of send you quite a bit of email. Quite a bit of emails, like 1 or 2 a month. It's not horrible. And then so I can add ideas for the person who got me and maybe put the Aira gift card in the idea section. So they, in my family who don't know anything about Aira, because this is like Mallory's cousins and her aunt and, my sister and all the people in our family, those who don't know about Aira could say, if someone got me, could just say, oh, well, why don't I just go get my Aira gift card? See? So that's a way to leverage that.
There you go. I like this.
That's a really cool service. It's handy.
And it makes it a whole lot easier to, do the drawing and keep everybody's secret. It's not one person sitting there knowing who has who.
Yeah.
And then people bribe that person to find out who got their stuff so they can be like, oh, I can't believe this person didn't. But let me go make sure I hint at Michael that I want this thing specifically because I know he's my Secret Santa.
Right. And like Mallory as the admin can't even see. So it's a true Secret Santa.
Cool, man. I've never heard of this. See, it's a nice thing on the internet as opposed to some of the stuff we see going around. It's a nice thing on the internet. Or
you have to give your holiday it's ELFSTER .com, and you have to give your holiday gift exchange a name, and so ours is called The Show this year.
So what have you been mostly using GPT for, and have you found the paid experience significantly different from the free?
Yes, I have, because it's staying with 4.0 and not falling back to 4 mini, which on the free, it'll give you 4.0 for a certain amount of responses, and then it'll fall back on 4 mini. And at first, you might not realize that it did it. And then you're like, what the hell are you talking about? And you go look and it's like, oh, 4 mini. I'm like, oh, that's why that writing went so bad. So I have not fallen back to 4 mini as ever since I've upgraded. So that's positive. I know there's a limitation to it. Honestly, I think the most recent things. So a few things. Number one, on Digital Bytes last Sunday, whatever that would be, back in September,
that will be September 29th episode of Digital Bytes. Go and check it out at
unmute.show.
Searching your podcast. Yeah, there you go.
Yep, unmute.show, type in Digital Bytes. And so I demonstrated the voice mode, right? And since then, I've been playing with it more. And what I've been using it for is a couple of things. One, it's been my to-do list. So it is truly natural language saying, hey, remind me to do this, or hey, I need to add this to my to-do list. The problem is, well, ChatGPT is great at remembering stuff. It is not so good at taking stuff off your list when you tell it you've actually completed that task. So, for example, I needed to reply to a couple of text messages because Damashe knows this, I think, and other people who have messaged me knows this. I'll read your message all day long, but chances are I probably am not going to reply to you unless I absolutely need to. You might get lucky and get a reaction out of me, but I sometimes will be like, oh, I'll reply to that later, and then later.
And then you forget about it because the message is no longer new.
Yeah.
So when you open up messages or you look at the badge on your phone, you're like, oh, okay, everything's good.
Yep. So I told GPT, remind me to do this next time I ask you, or when I ask you what my reminders are, right? And that's good. It said, I'll remind you. And then I asked it for, hey, what's on my to-do list, or what are my reminders, depending on how I'm feeling that day. It'll list it off, and they'll be like, oh, I texted that person back. Can you remember that? And I said, great, I'll mark that off your list. Wonderful job. What's the next thing you want to tackle on this to-do list? And then I'll tell it and blah, blah, blah. Well, the next day I'll come back and I'll be like, what's on my to-do list? And it's be like, you need to text Damashe back. I'm like, wait, no, I told you that yesterday. I already texted them back. So it has some room to grow, but it is that is one of the ways that I'm using it. I'm also using it to brainstorm ideas, especially when it comes to like Python ideas. Or yesterday, ChatGPT and I were having a conversation about advanced custom fields and custom post type UI and building out custom post types and doing stuff in WordPress. And it was a pretty decent conversation that we had. So it's one of those, I use it to bounce ideas off of, and then to get ideas for projects I'm working on. I am using it to generate text. Yesterday, I wanted to write an email to the board of an organization I'm a part of, and I gave it all of the items that I wanted to include in the email, and it wrote the email, and I said, nope, I don't like that. I told it then, I said, go back and look at your memories and write this email in the style that you know I like. And then it rewrote it and gave it to me in a more concise email with a lot of the information I wanted. And then, of course, I had to go back and forth a little bit to tweak it and make it more mine. But I'm also using the memory feature quite a bit too. Like it naturally remembers stuff, but if you need it to remember something, all you have to do is say, remember that I like water or something like that. And it will remember that stuff. And then the last thing is if you ask it, tell me about me, it does a eerily good job at telling me about me, which I'm not surprised by, but it is one of those things that you don't think about until you actually do it.
So I've been thinking about something when it comes to the AIs and the language models and such. And I feel like, one, there's kind of a divide between some of the bigger companies. Some are targeting one thing, some are targeting an entirely different thing. But what's really been more and more interesting to me is the use of smaller models that can be run locally, whether on a Mac Mini or Raspberry Pi. We're getting to the point we're seeing some that can be run on phones. And having that tailored experience specifically for what it is I want to do. So, I guess maybe not the bulk of the training of the model is done by me, but the learning of the model, the education of the model of how to behave is done, based off what I'm doing. Similar to what Apple's trying to do with Apple Intelligence, or the promise of what Apple Intelligence is supposed to be. And I feel like there are some companies that are targeting that. And from my perspective, I look at something like Notebook LM, where you can feed it all of your stuff in Google Drive and then recall things that you have done, or documents you've worked on, etc., emails that have come in, and be able to build a repository of information that is very, very highly specific to you, which significantly should lower the what the hell are you talking about? Responses you get sometimes, like, wait, how did we get here?
Yeah.
This response, okay, that was okay. This response, what?
So Notebook LM offers a feature, and I have not done this yet, mainly because I found
You haven't done it?
What?
You haven't done it?
I have not done Notebook LM. But you can drop it like text, and it'll create a 2-person podcast summarizing that text.
I'm really surprised you hadn't done this yet.
Yeah, I haven't yet. I went to do it and got overwhelmed with the unlabeled buttons in there. So I don't got time for this right now. I would like to maybe start a new podcast series on Unmute called This Week in Technically Working, and it'd be a 15-minute summary of the rambling that we do from the transcript that we generate. It'd be interesting to see what that turns into. So if you get a bonus episode, it might be Notebook LM This Week in TW.
Now, how have I wonder where they get the voices from, because what would be cool if you could take the voices from 11 Labs and use those, because we could go train our own 11 Labs voices, and then it could be me and you.
And then
the Notebook LM show.
Not have a show anymore? Oh.
Well, no. That's not the idea at all.
It's very clear voices, and it's really weird. So, like, they'll say, and and they'll make like mouth noises, and it's creepy.
But there is a lot of repetitive, cliche speech for podcasting, right? Like, I would think that if you heard it and you didn't know that it was a, Notebook LM creation, you could be tricked into thinking that it was someone's first or third or seventh podcast, and they very, very recently started podcasting.
But at least it doesn't sound like they're using internal laptop microphones, because
this is true.
So Notebook LM, if you're reading this transcript, I want you to comment something that tells us you actually was able to understand what we're talking about.
Man, you're gonna break it.
Probably. I'm gonna have to go play with it. I got to play with it now. So if you're a Tip Jar subscriber, you will get this content that I will produce. If you are not a Tip Jar subscriber, you might get it in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So what's new with Damashe?
Man, I think I got a good worker.
Good.
Let me get on a schedule. Like, my schedule seemed to have worked very well this week. A couple of days I had to pull off to do something different. But wasn't nearly as catastrophic as it could have been. So that's worked out. I do have to take my van in to get it fixed. That's a whole new thing for me to deal with. I know you kind of deal with this in some way.
Oh, auto repair?
Yeah, so like just dealing with an automobile and maintenance, and like, why is it doing that? Okay, wait, I got a ticket to go figure out why it's doing that. Wait, I got these guys to do this thing and they didn't do this thing right here, right? They ain't put my freaking panel back on, right? So now, which is actually a thing that happened. So I had them change my tail light because I didn't have the wrench to get to the get everything loose to be able to change the, not the tail light, but the signal light on the driver's side rear. So just taking it into a Chevy dealership here to just look it over and start me on some basic maintenance, you know, just to keep everything running. Cause I don't need anybody trying to fix it. I need you to be able to fix it or maintain it.
Yeah. I don't got time for you to think you can fix it. I will go pay someone to make sure it's right.
Yeah. So I take my van in the other day for the maintenance or whatever. And I went and bought the signal light that needed to be replaced and just asked them to do it since they were, you know, looking over the van or whatever. I get the van back, and this is where I was like, I'm not used to having to deal with this. So like, I didn't walk around and check like, oh, they say they fixed the signal light. You know, if we get ready to turn out of here and the signal light don't work, dude, they'll notice it and we'll go back. Didn't occur to me to walk around and just check like where they took the panel apart to put the light in. Get home, and it's like several hours later, and I'm outside, and I put my hand up on the side of the van. And it's like, wait, where the hell did this gap come from? Oh, these chumps ain't putting my panel back together the right way. So this is outside of what it should be inside in. So everything's not, you know, closed up together. Well, now I got to bag the van up in case it rains. So it's under the garage and don't rain right inside of the electronics right there. That'll be great. So kind of annoyed because I'm going to have to spend time tomorrow to go get that seen about, because I can't ride around like that too long. But I still got to get up and get going before they're open. So I'll make time at some point during the day. I'll call them and let them know I'm coming too.
You guys better be prepared to fix this, because this was totally you guys. And I don't got time. Like, time is money. I don't got time to sit around for 3 hours for you to fix your mess up.
Yeah. So got to get that done. But other than that, like, things have been going good regarding the vending business, to a point that I'm now ready to start cleaning up the mess I have made of my consulting business. Because it has been an absolute mess. Hold on one second. Let me make sure this is the right card. Yeah.
But it's a learning experience. It's all about learning. As long as you take something away from it, then that's positive.
It is learning. And one of the things I learned is what I shared earlier. Test your backups. You can have all the backups in the world, but test your backups. Also test other systems that you have in place routinely. Because when things are operating well, you're not going to know that things are broken because they're not broken. But if your systems that are supposed to let you know something is broken or not properly functioning don't work when they're supposed to, you don't have a way of knowing that unless you set up scenarios to force it to notify you to make sure that everything is good. So test servers, for example, just put up some test sites and, you know, make sure the thing that's pinging the site, that's supposed to be pinging sites every 15 minutes, does actually notify you when a site goes down. Yeah. Which it did in the past. I just hadn't tested it recently because nothing was down until it was down. And then, well, I didn't know it was down until people called me. I was like, wait, what?
And then people might not want to call you because they're like, oh, he's busy. He'll figure it out. He gets alerts of this. And then when you call and you're like, hey, this is not working, you're like, oh, I wasn't going to,
really bother you, but, this has been down for for a week. It's like, huh? Oh, well, some stuff ain't working the way it's supposed to. All right. So, starting to put that stuff back together. Unfortunately, like I said, I feel like my skills I got to get back in the groove of like doing the server admin stuff and all that. Like, it's not I can't do it. It's just, it takes me longer because now I find myself researching answers.
And
which takes us back to this whole, not always a help. And it takes me back to that idea of building a repository and stuff. Now I do have some, I haven't actually used it because I just thought about it. I have some stuff in like these little shortcuts of like, oh, this is how you fix this thing right here when this happens in DevonThink, which is an interesting tool. Go ahead.
Dump DevonThink into a text document?
Yeah.
Because I wonder if you could take certain aspects of your DevonThink and build a custom GPT on that.
Either build a custom GPT or use one of these local models that's meant to run locally and just feed it all the documents.
Yeah.
Is what I've been thinking about because the Mac Mini's still up and running just fine. So that is, and I've been more interested in that. The other thing I've been interested in with the land of AI is the video stuff. I don't think we're there yet, and I'm not looking for a AI generated audio description of a video of a movie. But being able to have AI, reasonably identify what's happening in a shorter video clip or something would be extremely useful. I think about, hey, I'm watching a video of a thing and it just kind of tells me, hey, the person held up a sign that read, I don't know, whatever.
Or it's music and the person clicked on this button and then clicked there.
Yes.
That's what gets me all the time is those type of videos.
Or if I'm looking at security camera footage to be able to identify, in this clip, it appears that there's a person in a UPS uniform that's dropping off a package. It's like, okay, well, I got to worry about that.
So we have the Eufy doorbell, right? We're going into the Eufy world. So we swapped out the Ring doorbell, sent that
in a car, man,
to my sister-in-law, and then got a Eufy doorbell for $39. And then there's no bills, and our security footage gets stored in iCloud. I should have looked at Aira, but it was on sale. Every day, 2 or 3 times a day, we get notifications on our phone. And we've done no training, so I don't know if we can. I'm sure we can. But on the doorbell now, it says human detected, which is okay, except for it's this white cat that keeps coming over. And it's a joke now. We're like, Kevin, who's one of our black cats, we're like, Kevin's friends keep coming over at 2 o'clock in the morning to see if Kevin wants to come out and play because there's a human detective, but it's actually a cat coming over almost to our front door on a regular basis. So yeah, it would be nice to have an AI that I could drop a video to, which I probably could to this Picky bot. I probably could drop the video to that and then have it describe it and whatnot. But that I could see some value in that. Human detected. I don't believe in humans anymore. They're always cats.
Yeah, man. Or maybe you've got the human right after they changed into a cat too.
Maybe the AI is telling me something that we didn't pick up on. See?
What
was that? McGonagall? Is that the one that turns into a cat?
Yeah.
So maybe,
Maybe. See, there you go. And nope, we're not going to even point it out. We're going to let people who know. But yeah, that has been another thing that's been interesting to me in this space. Where I kind of see the divide is I feel like companies like Apple, who's the other company? Meta. Meta, I haven't watched their entire thing, but I have heard more clips of the Meta event. But I think Meta's kind of headed in this direction too, where they're looking at ways to run models on device that will be useful. And one upside to that is help saves the environment, man. Not having to keep adding data centers all over the place.
So this is really interesting. Number one, I am super excited for the Meta Be My Eyes announcement. Like that is, I can't express how excited I am for that. And I can't wait for that to come to fruition. Andy was doing a call, Andy Lane, who is a I kept calling him project manager, but he is product manager at Be My Eyes, did a ACB community call yesterday. It'll probably be podcasted Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. So if you're interested, type in Be My Eyes into acbmedia.org and you can listen to that presentation. But he brought up a good point. It is, first of all, he used to think in timeframes of years for when technology would change. And now he's thinking in timeframes of weeks or months at the most.
Yep.
He says, think about how amazing it is that we can take a picture of an item now and send that picture to a computer where a grain of sand processes that picture and then provides you information about what's in the picture. And when you think about the fact that silicone is just processing that image, sending it back to you and giving you that information, it's amazing where we are in this world nowadays.
It is.
It's not perfect, but it's amazing. So, I finally set up a group today.
I have one set up. I need to get people added to it. That's also another strategy that I'm actually going to start implementing though is having volunteers. And I don't know. I got to look at the rules. So I may or may not have actually said this. I'll start with volunteers. Maybe I will actually pay people a stipend of sort to be available when I need them through Be My Eyes in my own group for quickly resolving issues where I need a person who either can make out, because a lot of the soda machines I have like that weird blocky text. I think I mentioned this. So like not everybody makes sense of that. And I can't explain it to you if you don't understand what you're looking at. If you understand what you're looking at, you can figure out what it's doing. But it tends to be people from like, my generation or your generation of people like in our age range that are some sort of technical people, right? Like poked at computers for years. Versus, those who just, hey, I got an iPhone 11 because it's an iPhone 11 and it's going to keep being an iPhone 11 until it breaks. And then I'll get whatever iPhone is out because I don't really care. It's just a phone that does stuff.
Right.
I can watch my TikTok and shop on my Temu. So I'm good. But that is a strategy I intend on deploying in several instances because, hey, there's ways to make this easier. The other thing, Meta's very interesting. How are you thinking about these Horizon glasses they announced and people's reaction to them?
Oh, my goodness. I just discovered an issue. Guess what? When you run multiple password managers, not all your passwords are in the one password manager that's cross-platform. I mean, it would be. I have some passwords saved in Microsoft Edge that I did not save in 1Password. So now you go through that process.
Now you got to go sign in Edge.
No, I'll just reset the password on this account. But I know nothing about these Horizon glasses. I haven't done any research into them. I'm not sure about what they are. The only thing I do know is I think it's interesting how they're using this wrist puck or whatever it's called to send the signals to the glasses.
The signals of like your gestures. Yeah.
I think that's a good way to do it because it's going to keep that cost down, which I think is going to get more people using it. And I was listening to Fox on Tech because I don't think I ever told you this, but I deleted all of my podcasts, like all of them, and then am slowly re-adding them. I'm not even subscribed to Technically Working. So if something is broke, we rely on listeners to let us know at this point. I'll probably go subscribe to it again tomorrow. But I was listening to Fox on Tech, and you're familiar with The Office, right?
The Office, like the show?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm familiar with that as a show. I don't think I ever watched it.
Okay. So anyways, they are coming out with an Office VR game in 2025 that's going to be available on the Meta Quest, which means it'll probably be available on these other glasses. But it's funny, they're like, the main characters will not be in the game, but there will be a link for you to connect to Peacock and watch The Office from there. I'm like, yeah, because that's what everyone wants. But it's interesting. I think VR / this alternate reality is becoming more mainstream because it's going to be a lot more affordable. I think you can pick up a Meta Quest now for $300 and then be in that virtual environment, not need additional computing power in order to operate the utility and make it a good experience.
Yeah. So what I know about the Horizon glasses, because I don't know everything about them, but one, they're several years away according to Mark Zuckerberg. And because right now they're trying to get the cost down. It costs them about $10,000 per pair to make them. But they're more like Google Glass lives again. Like they're glasses with projections on the internal lenses for things. AR interests me because we could get stylish glasses that could be a little bit more useful with internet connectivity. That's another thing that the Meta glasses I think are lacking. Again, there's the battery life concern. But other than Bluetooth, it doesn't have an internet connection, so you can't hook it up to anything else. Which is, again, I'm going to say it, like I really was hoping that Google was going to, they pushed their Pixel event up because they were going to talk about these glasses that they had coming. I was really, like that would have been an instant buy for me, like right away. If Google would have announced something like that, because it's going to be basically powered by Android. Mm-hmm. It would have internet, at least Wi-Fi capability, if not LTE, or 5G, because it's everywhere. But also we would have been able to sideload stuff. Like we could have had, seeing AI or lookout on the glasses if it wasn't already there. Apple, I feel like Apple's working towards this similar thing to the Horizon glasses. They're just coming at it from a different angle. They put out the Vision Pro, and I feel like at this point, the Vision Pro really is a developer device that they just put on the market for enthusiasts to also be able to buy, so that you can have your reporters talk about it and people try it out, and in some cases give feedback, even if you have to search Reddit or Twitter or whatever to find the feedback of people ranting about how terrible it is. But I think that's the difference, that really is sort of a beta device, which honestly is kind of what Google Glass was when it first came out. I'm more interested in glasses though than I am a VR headset, because the AR stuff can be dismissed and you can just voice to me what I want instead of visually trying to show me the information. So I feel like that's much better and much more suited to what I want out of a device like that. But surprisingly, I think Meta is actually in the race in this particular space. Like right now, they're crushing it with the Ray-Bans.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can actually buy a pair of Ray-Bans now.
Michael D bought a pair of those special edition where you can see the insides of the glasses and the electronics. The case is a different color, but they're pretty much the same exact glasses. But they sold out on Meta's store really quick, and then I think he went to Ray-Ban and bought them from there. So,
yeah, I'm betting they are very hard to come by at the moment. I still want a different style, like a different frame. I don't like the frames that I have.
Yeah. So I think this show flowed a lot smoother than our last couple of shows. We appreciate.
The last show was better, man.
Last show was better?
The last show went real smooth. This is the one we recorded on Monday, remember?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
How did publishing that go, by the way? Because I didn't listen to it. I am still subscribed to the show. But
yeah, I published it that night.
Cool.
Yeah.
But I thought that it was supposed to be a 30-minute show. I think it may have come out to about 50-ish minutes recording time.
Just about 50 minutes, yep.
Yeah, it was a super, super smooth show. I have been trying to multitask, so that is one reason I probably seemed somewhat distracted.
Well, we're back to our hour-ish point. I've got an hour and 20 minutes of recording. A bit of that will be cut out, so I would say about an hour of content, because there were some points where we stopped, and I had to. It'll be edited out because I think I said some not so friendly words, but I had to run and grab a charger for the laptop real quick. And of course, Mallory's sitting on the couch going, "That was poor planning on your part, wasn't it?" And I said, "Don't talk to me," and then came out here and closed the door on her. But anyways, so, we'll cut it up a little bit, but I think,
I didn't hear the don't part. I heard the talk to me when you came back.
Oh yeah. No, I was like, "Don't talk to me." But
listen, the computer just works and works, and you plug stuff in and you take it out, and it just works and works, and then you plug something like the Vocaster, and you're like, "Wait, well, I need to do what now? Charge?
What?
What is this charge you talk about?"
Yeah. What do you mean? But yeah. Last thing that I'll mention, unless you have something.
Spreadsheets.
What?
Spreadsheets.
Oh, you want to talk about spreadsheets? All right.
No, not right now. I don't. It's going to turn into a long conversation. We will save it for next week.
Why is my computer not charging? Well, I'm sorry. Why is Mallory's computer not charging? It's maintaining at 10%.
Oh, did you grab a USB-C cable?
No, it's a MagSafe.
Oh. What did you plug it into?
Power strip and then this brick, but this brick might not be powerful enough to charge it.
Well, to compete with the sucking of the
Vocaster. That's a good point. Should just be thankful that it's
just maintaining right at 10%.
Yeah. What was I going to bring up now?
I have no idea.
Yeah, me neither.
It's like the old spreadsheets. You were like, oh.
Yeah. Anyways. Well, must not have been too important. Yeah, it's not coming to me. I was hoping it would come to me. So I guess we could wrap it up today and go back. come back next week and give you updates on what else we got going on and how things are moving along. Unmute.show, if you're interested in checking out some of that content. Today's Digital Bytes, so yesterday, if you're listening to this on the day that it's published, Digital Bytes. Chris showed you a web-based application that will allow you to send both digital and physical greeting cards. And she demonstrated the Picture Smart feature of JAWS, so you could explore what the image is on the greeting card itself. And then she showed you how to do that on your phone. Marty showed you about the power button that's now in Control Center and how to be able to add things to Control Center and remove it. And then I showed you, man, that's horrible. What did I record my screen and demonstrate today?
Setting up loopback on the Mac.
No, it wasn't that, but it was something almost as cool. And now I'm pulling up my own website to see if the content is moved over there yet. Yep, it is. So, I showed you how to manage Siri interruptions. So if since iOS 17, you've gotten frustrated because Siri is listening when it's talking, and if like a kid talks to you in the background or something happens and Siri hears that, it'll interrupt itself. You can actually now in iOS 18, this may have been available in 17, I don't know, but go into the accessibility settings, find the general heading, and then under there is Siri interruption or Siri. Tap on that. It's the Siri button. Tap on that, and then go in there and make it so you have to say, "Hey Siri" or Siri to interrupt Siri while it's talking. That was on Digital Bytes.
Man, what are your thoughts on? Are you on 18.1 beta?
No.
Or you're on 18? So what are your thoughts on? So you don't really have a lot of the Siri AI stuff.
Nope.
That's supposed to be there.
I don't have any of it.
Yeah, well,
I won't get any of it until I upgrade to a 16.
You ain't missing much.
That's what I've heard. Haven't been super eager to upgrade yet.
I'm not finding Siri even in the beta. Haven't gotten any better at stuff. I still get a lot of here's what I found on the web for. Now I said, give me directions to the Skyland branch of Alabama Credit Union. Seems like you should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Here's what I found on the web for. Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Useless. Here's what I found on the web, and it's literally the address that you asked it for directions to. It's like, come on, you couldn't have read what you found on the web?
Why couldn't you just have opened Maps? Like, this is what I was going for. Trying to use your Maps app.
Yeah. Now I'm going to go download Google Assistant.
I'm going to download Waze. That's what I'm going to do. All right, man. We will wrap it up for this week. We want to thank everybody who listens. Tell a friend if you think the show is good. Share your feedback with us. We will have our web infrastructure put back together. It's partially why I've been distracted, because I'm working on doing that right now as we've been recording the show, so I can get Mastodon back up, because I don't like telling people to follow us on Mastodon and
then they can't find you.
Yeah, so got to fix that. So I've been working on that and running into a couple of little minor issues, but I think I have figured out a path to get us there. Don't set up the DNS right away. Just let it do it in dry run mode and slowly port your DNS, because I keep forgetting records. All right, so you should be able to follow us on Mastodon. He's Payon, P-A-Y-A-W-N at unmute.community. What did I say?
AWN?
Oh, no, that's a different person. Don't follow that person. Listen, I'm not responsible.
That better not be a person at unmute.community, because if it is, then we got a real problem on that. I got to talk to that admin.
Man, we got some serious problems. For real. Okay, let me start that over. You should be able to follow us on Mastodon, or just send us a message. He's Payon, P-A-Y-O-W-N at unmute.community. I am Damashe, D-A-M-A-S-H-E at unmute.community, and feedback at technicallyworking.show will get your email to us. And use the hashtag technicallyworking, capital T, capital W. And as always, thank you to our tip jar supporters, because you can be spending your money anywhere, and trust me, I know how expensive stuff is. So we appreciate it truly. This has been TW79.
Did you remember that, or did you?
No, I saw it. I saw it in Riverside.
I hope that's the right one.
Hold on, I can tell you for sure if that's the right one. Because I am subscribed.
10:25 p.m.
Open Overcast.
Overcast. Accidental type ATP.
Yep, it is 79. TW78 was called That's Not Pringles.
That's not Pringles. It's pretzels. It didn't occur to me that Pringles and pretzels do start with the same two letters. I'm sorry, you're right. I said in my country we call pretzels Pringles.
It's like the football, soccer.
Hold
thing.
on. In the metaverse we call pretzels Pringles.